So the question asked is adding, subtracting, and multiplying two algebraic equations together, and then writing them in standard form. So first of all, standard form is pretty common in algebra, and basically it takes the equation and sets it equal to 0. So if we have this equation here, y plus x squared equals 2. If we subtract 2 from both sides, we'll end up with x squared plus y minus 2 equal to 0, and this would be standard form. Basically, whenever you have variables and numbers and you set it equal to 0. So let's go on to sum or addition. Now we have two equations here. And probably the easiest way to do this is rewrite the equations. And if we take x, the first equation, we do x4 plus 0 x cubed minus 5x squared plus 0x plus minus 7 equals 0. And then we take the next equation and we just keep everything lined up. So we have 6x to the fourth. Now we got to rearrange this, plus 2x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x minus 3 equals 0. And now everything is in line with its power. So now we just add these things together. So basically it becomes really simple. So you have 1x to the fourth plus 6x to the fourth. So now that equals 7x to the fourth. 2 plus 0 is just 2. So plus 2x cubed. Basically, you kind of just leave the x cubed. Think of it as a separate variable, almost like x to the fourth is like a, x to the cubed is like b, something like that. So then we get minus 5 plus 0 is minus 5, so minus 5x squared. 0 plus 0 is 0, so plus 0x. Minus 7 plus a minus 3 is minus 10, and that is equal to 0. So since there are no x to the first, we can just erase that. And so our final answer would be this guy right here, 7x to the fourth plus 2x to the third minus 5x squared minus 10 is equal to 0. So now we can do the same thing for subtraction. Again, probably the easiest way would be to rewrite the equation. So we have x cubed, or actually, now subtraction is a little different. We're subtracting this second equation from the first equation, so be sure you have the first equation first, right? So we have 0x cubed in the first equation plus 5x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals 0. And then the second equation, we have x cubed, 1x cubed, right, plus 0x squared plus 7x minus 7 equals 0. So now we're going to subtract both of these equations. So 0 minus 1, so we have minus 1x cubed. 0 minus 5, so nothing happens there, plus 5x squared. 5 minus 7, that would be a negative 2x. And then minus 7 minus 6. So minus 6 minus a negative 7 would actually be positive, right? So minus 6 minus a negative 7, that would actually kind of turn that to plus, right? So this would be plus 1 equals 0. So this would be your final answer for this equation. Now, you don't really need the negative 1 right there. Just made it look a little, just reminds you that there is a 1 in front of that. But that would be the answer to those equations. So now if we go on to the product, this becomes a little harder, and it kind of is easier to write it with the small one in parentheses times the larger one, 7x squared plus 3x plus 4. So basically, you kind of use the FOIL method, right? And then you add all of those things together. So if we did this 5x times 7x squared, that would be 35x cubed. 5x times 3x, that would be 15x squared. 5x times 4 would be 20x. And then we go on to the next one. So minus 14x squared minus 6x, right? And then minus 8. and set that all equal to 0. And then we can go ahead and clean those up by adding those together, right? So 15x squared minus 14x squared, right? So we have 35x cubed, 15 minus 14 plus x squared, 20 minus 6, so plus 14x, and then minus 8 is equal to 0. So this would be the answer for multiplying those two equations together. So basically you multiply the first one times the first one times the second one times the third one. That's where we got these guys. Then you take the same thing, the first one times the second one times the first one times the second one times the third one. That's where we got these guys. Then you add those together and get the final equation. So hope that helped.